Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having a very fantastic Saturday. I'm enjoying my coffee, and I will be making a video about Palantir and the broader data AI field and investments. So, very first thing I wanted to talk about was yesterday I get a comment in one of my Patreon's group, in my Patreon groups, not one of them, I just have one, shout out to the Wolfpack. And they're like, hey, people are selling shares of Palantir to buy Snowflake. They're watching Amit's live, and they're thinking about doing the same thing. Okay. The very first thing that I'm going to say is I own Snowflake and C3AI. I owned them before. I sold when this market started going down, and I did rebuy. The position that I have in Snowflake and C3AI is a smaller position than I have in Palantir. And I have my reasoning for that. I'm going to go over some of the basic reasonings of that. I didn't sell any of my Palantir shares. I am very wary about Palantir, and I will give you guys my theory, my thesis of why I still do believe in Palantir. Now, for the people that sold Palantir, like Sasha, like Chris, like people on Twitter, that's okay. This is what's happening right now. There's two narratives to this story. Besides for being a regular investor, you are also a YouTuber, you are a social media influencer, and you need content. So right now there's going to be a rift, a shift between the Palantir community. Mark my words, I've dealt with this in cryptocurrency, and I deal with this on a daily basis. The rift is going to be this. Half of the people or whatever is going to be like, we're staying with Palantir, we're making the right decision, Palantir to the moon. Half is going to say, no, we're out of here. We're selling Palantir. Palantir is not going to make it. And now you have a competition of who's going to be right and who's going to be wrong. So besides for the competition of actually your money, right? You actually making money or losing money, there's now a competition. And this could be whether people want it or not, right? Whether people realize it's happening or not, this is what's happening. That you want to be able to say, I was right or I was wrong. So people selling Palantir right now want Palantir to go down, make no mistake about it. They don't wish you the best of luck, because by wishing you the best of luck, they're wishing themselves bad luck. So I can't say I wish Sasha and Chris the best of luck with their sells on Palantir. I hope that they made the wrong decision so that our decision is right. At the same time, I can't fault them because everybody does what's good for them with their money. So with that said, let me give you guys why I invest in Palantir and why I still like Palantir, as well as the reasoning why I would sell Palantir. But before I do that, I actually was preparing a video for you guys. See, this is my little cheat sheet. I was comparing Palantir to Snowflake to C3AI. And the problem is I highly underestimated the noise pollution on the 30th floor in Florida and the noise pollution on the beach. And I didn't take my best microphone, and I can't mute the background too good because I sound like a robot when I'm speaking, and my videos are trash. So I'm making you guys content. I apologize. I'm not banging out those 4, 5, 6 videos a day. I'm doing the best I can, but I have so much information that I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna make a better video when I get back, actually comparing C3AI with Palantir and Snowflake. The problem is Palantir had their earnings on August 8th, Snowflake has their earnings on August 24th, and C3AI has their earnings on August 31st. And since you got to compare apples to apples, it's not fair to compare different quarters against different quarters of 3 companies. I think I'm going to wait. But to give you guys a quick comparison, Snowflake and C3AI and Palantir, they're all in the same exact field, AI data analytics. That AI data analytics allows your company to be more efficient, and it processes data. That's what they all do. The difference is all of them cater to different customers, and all of them cater to a different size of customers. C3AI and Snowflake cater to a smaller contractor, a smaller client that does not need an enterprise solution. Palantir is an enterprise solution. Palantir shellacks Snowflake and C3AI put together when it comes to their platform. However, a lot of contractors have no idea what Palantir does, and have no idea how to compare between Palantir and the other two. And more so, if you have this, like let's say you have Adobe, right? For example, let's say Adobe did not sell each individual Adobe product. You could only buy Adobe Suite. So I have Adobe Suite because I use it for my YouTube channel. But in reality, I don't use any of it. I use Adobe Premiere Rush, I use Adobe Premiere, and I use maybe like one other Adobe. But I bought like 26 of these Adobes. Imagine Palantir is Adobe, and it was only Adobe everything. There was no option for you to just buy Photoshop. Let's say you need Photoshop. You cannot buy Photoshop without also buying Premiere and Illustrator and After Effects, so on and so forth. That is Palantir. While Snowflake and C3AI allows you to buy a specific portion of Adobe that you need. That is in the easiest possible terms for you guys to understand the difference between Palantir, Snowflake, C3AI, and all the other AI data analytics company. Now, if you don't need Adobe Suite and you don't need it to be that complicated, then Palantir is not for you. It's like using a bazooka when all you need is a 9mm. And so Palantir is the bazooka, and Snowflake is the 9mm, and C3AI is the Smith & Wesson Magnum, right? For example. So that's for you to understand. Thick, thin. Palantir is going over big, heavy clients. They want the biggest clients. The top 20 clients was like worth $46 million contracts, which was up from 40 million last quarter, something like this, or it was 48 this last quarter, and it was like 45 the other quarter. So just for you guys to understand, Snowflake has 206 1 million plus clients. So for them, a big client is a million plus, while the average client, 125 clients, nearly $6 million, like 5.9 something million dollars. That's the average for Palantir. That is the difference. Snowflake is now trying to ramp up and trying to eat Palantir's lunch, and they're trying to make their products better. Their products will not be as good as Palantir. But like I said, they're trying to grow from the inside, out, from the inside in, right? Like small product, bigger product, and they're building to suite the customers that they already have, right? That's the difference. Palantir takes a very, very long time to get a client. Palantir's sales force is like somewhere between 45 veterans and like 120 that they're training, whatever. While Snowflake has over 1,000 sales force, So Salesforce for Snowflake is like 20% of the company. I don't know, 25%. While the sales force of Palantir is like, 4% of the company. I forgot the exact numbers, but something like this to give you guys a general idea. And C3AI, I don't know off the top of my head like that, so I apologize. So that's the difference between the three companies. It doesn't mean you can't own all three, as I do. The reason why I sold C3 and Snowflake, but I kept Palantir, is this. C3 and Snowflake trade at a much higher PE because they have a strong growth, while Palantir trades at a lower PE because it's not perceived as a huge growth company like Snowflake. Take out C3AI. I don't have the numbers on the top of my head, and I don't want to sound like an idiot. So we'll talk more about Snowflake right now. So because Snowflake is perceived as a stronger growth company, and their net retentions was like 180%, while the net retention, or 176, I think, well, the net retention of Palantir was 119 and went down from 124, while the net retention also went down for Snowflake. It was like 176, and now it's like 174, off the top of my head. The reason why I kept Palantir and I sold the other ones is, number one, I wanted to get a tax write-off, so I wanted to take my paper losses and and capital gains to offset my gains later on against Palantir and my other holdings. Palantir is going to give you the biggest bang for the buck, in my personal opinion. They have that biggest possibility, that biggest like to the moon type of scenario. Palantir's market cap is around 20-25 billion, while Snowflake's market cap is like 50 billion. C3AI, I really liked over Snowflake as well. The market cap was only 2-point-something billion. I think it has a lot of room to grow, C3AI. Now, the reason why I'm not selling my Palantir, besides for the possibility of growth, I'm not naive either, and I'm not ignorant. There is going to be a point where Palantir needs to actually put up or shut up, and I'm out. There's two key things that's happening right now. September 5th, NHS is going to be announcing the next leg of their huge contract. So they have that federated data program for the NHS England Health. And originally it was supposed to 260 million pound. Then they upped it to 360 million pound, 5-year deal. And it's thought that it's actually going to be worth 1 billion pound plus over 10 years because it's so sticky when you use Palantir. So Palantir is pretty much the only company, or so that we think, that can deal with something like that. That's not a Snowflake, that's not a C3AI, to actually set up the entire freaking government's health sector. Only Palantir could do it, okay? Now let's say NHS England wanted to upgrade Manchester's health system. C3AI could do it, or Snowflake could do it. Just to give you a quick example, that's the difference. September 5th, they're going to come out with an announcement. Either they're going to pick somebody or they're going to announce that there's going to be some other announcement. This is going to be next month. That's what I'm waiting for. I can wait 3 weeks. Palantir must get this contract. Must. And if they do, this is going to shore up their coffers. This is going to be great for Palantir. Now, if Palantir does not get this contract, enormous red flag, number one. But I think that they are. And if they do, I believe the share price is going to go up because it's going to be great in the public news sector. 1. 2. Titan program. In June, it was announced that Raytheon and Palantir are going to have a 12 to 14 month prototype building scenario. Raytheon got shellacked by Palantir before for a Navy contract, and the Navy says Palantir is the only one that can do what we need them to do, period. Palantir needs to win this contract. So I'm going to wait what's going to happen in around a year from now, which is going to be June, August, September of 2023. I believe the contract is going to be awarded in 2024. That's what I'm waiting for. If they don't get NHS and they don't get this Titan program, then that's going to mean somebody else can do, or perceived can do, what Palantir can do. That is my huge red flags. And that's why my case for Palantir is approximately 1 year from now. 1 year plus a quarter, 1 year minus a quarter, something like this, depending on what's going to happen. In between the NHS, in between the Titan program, they better get their shit in line with what's happening right now. A lot of people are calling for Alex Karp to be taken down. You can't take him down because of the shares that him and Peter Thiel and the other founder has. I don't even know what the other founder's name is, but I know there was another one. Because of that, some people are like, that's great because they have a vision. Let them make their vision. And if that's right, then exactly what's happening right now works out. The reason they have that in play is because of what's happening right now, how people are like, yo, take Alex Karp out, take Alex Karp out. So if you believe in the vision, you believe in the vision. And if you get that NHS and they get the Titan and their quarters go up, well, then the vision is coming to fruition. Now, if they don't get NHS and they don't get Titan, well, that means the vision is faulty and Karp should be out of here. Now, Karp built this product, built this company for the last 19 years or so into a 20-something billion dollar company. He made himself $1 billion in net worth. He made Peter Thiel billions of dollars in net worth. And it's very hard to tell a guy like that made his baby, you're doing something wrong. It's like telling Elon Musk, hey, we know you didn't create Tesla, but we also know that you were the first outside investor who made Tesla what it is, but you can no longer grow Tesla because you're doing something wrong. Like, come on, it's idiotic, and it's not apples to apples, but you understand where I'm going with this. So this is my theory, this is my thesis. At the same time, guys, I am going to be covering C3AI, I'm going to be covering Snowflake, because my Patreons are asking me about it, the Wolfpack is asking about it, so I'll be happy to talk about it. I talked about C3AI before. I talked about Snowflake before. Nobody cared. The videos didn't do good whatsoever. Palantir does good. Okay, Palantir by far is a much larger position to me by many magnitudes than C3AI and Snowflake. But I still have a position in both of them. And it's not in the hundreds of dollars, so it's all good. Now, that's all that I wanted to say about this. Thank you so much for watching me. Hopefully this video is not going to take me 27 hours to upload on my internet. And hopefully the volume is actually going to be normal with this thing that looks like a D next to my mouth. Guys, have a great day. I'm going to go to a birthday party right now. enjoy your family, enjoy your money, and do whatever you want. I'm not a financial advisor, purely entertainment and education. I hope this video helped you in some way, shape, and form. The Berg is out.